So news out of Ashburn today, and this did not surprise me at all. I saw the reaction was that people think this creates another need, and maybe it does, but I'm okay with it. Jake Moody's going to hit free agency. The Commanders brought him midstream last year as their season was ongoing, with the hopes that maybe he could be their kicker of the future. I didn't want him to be around into the 2026 and beyond seasons because I don't think he has a big enough leg. And I have a very particular skill set I'm looking for at the kicking position now. Moody made 18 of 20 field goals last year, and that sounds great and that's fine. The problem is in his career, he's 8 of 14 from 50 plus. He does not have a big leg. And in the NFL, in 2026, 55 is the new 45. So if you don't have a place kicker who can drill 50 to 55-yard field goals, who is batting close to 750 or something on those kicks, that has become the 48-yarder from several seasons ago now, the 54, 55, 56-yarder, you don't have the right kicker. And beyond that, you need to be in field goal range when you get to the 40-yard line. If you are turning down 57 to 60-yard field goals to punt, not because you want to for field position, but because you do not trust the length of your kicker and the leg of your kicker, you don't have the right guy. And to me, that's what Jake Moody is. He was a great kicker in college at Michigan. Remember, he was drafted way too early by the San Francisco 49ers, I believe when Adam Peters was there.
Yeah.
He then was part of the front office as the GM here, who brings him here this past season. And he was the perfect duct tape. He was a Band-Aid. He got him to the end of the year and what was starting to become a real problem at the kicking position last year with Matt Gay. Fine, no harm, no foul. But you need to do better. That is a missed opportunity, and the inability to take advantage of having a weapon at kicker. You're starting games spotting another team a point or two, honestly. Like, if we're really going to start looking into point spreads and how they're created, and we look at quarterback play and injury, health, and all these other things, can you make 60-plus yarders at the end of a game? Can you make a 55-yarder? These are hidden things that matter. Some coaches will tell you hidden yards on special teams are like the most undervalued thing in football because you don't even look at it when you look at the stat sheet. It's offense and defense mostly. I think length from a kicker, consistency from 50 to 55 is now one of those never talked about, never thought about, integral parts of a football team. So they should have
you're stealing points. Yeah.
Let Moody walk and go get a kicker. Now, they haven't been able to get right on a kicker yet, but they got to get it right.
Yeah, it's too hard. I mean, it was a Joe Gibbs said it's hard up here. I mean, that's what it is. It is too hard to win or not have something on the margins that's going your way, right? They had good kick coverage last year. That was one of the few things they did well was punt return or punt coverage and kick coverage. In general, they were very, very good at that. That's kind of it when it comes to special teams. They are behind the curve in this regard. Doesn't mean you're automatic from 60 plus. I don't think anybody's automatic, but you need to have a shot. And they didn't have a shot and they knew it. And that governed how they kind of went about things, right? I mean, think about this. On a third down and medium from that just outside of field goal range, a lot of teams can go, well, we can run two plays here. We can just run the ball twice. Because we know, we can. If we are fourth and short, we can kick the field goal. Or rather, fourth and medium. Or if we're fourth and short, we can get it on that next run. It can govern play calling. I mean, there's a trickle-down effect to it where you can get bailed out of a bad play, right? Like something happens that's a drive killer used to be, and you have to just punt away for field position that would lead to probably 25 or 30 net yards once you get a touchback. Now it can still be points. Like, you can have more positives out of medium or below average. And we'll think of drives differently, where it's like a scoring drive was like, well, they went 12 yards and stalled out, but still, they kicked a field goal. Like, that is such an integral thing now in a league that is so tight.
Horace and Dickey's.
That's what I was thinking of.
Is the place you're thinking of, according to a lot of Instagram direct messages that I'm getting right now. So shout out to the people that answered that. That's number one. Number two, as frustrated as I've been with creating more needs along the offensive line when you cut a center or Chris Paul walks or whatever for this team that has a lot of needs, I feel like kicker is a position where you could go year to year anyway, as long as you're right. When you find the right guy, lock him up, keep him around. Let's have a 10 or 12-year kicker, a la Tressway as your punter, and it's an asset that you never have to worry about. But they have not found the guy yet. And so if you think about last season, like, their record could have been better if they had a better kicker, maybe, but not by a much. It wouldn't have made or broken their season. Adam Peters has not gotten this correct. This has been his Eleanor of sorts. This is the car that he can't steal and gone in 60 seconds. But I got to say, I don't care that much about my GM being right on kicker. Would I like him to be right all the time? Of course. But this is a fairly low leverage wrong. Like the swing and a miss on Marshawn Lattimore is a bigger deal than being wrong on kicker for 6 straight seasons, in my opinion. So, yes, they have not solved this. Yes, it has been a problem, but I'll keep taking swings.
To me, it's a lot like a setup man or a high innings high leverage inning reliever where it's fleeting. A couple years ago, I don't know, you pick your guy. Matt Prater was automatic. Now he's a free agent afterthought. I know he's 42, but I'm just trying to remember the kickers that like at one point you're adding and dropping them furiously on fantasy because this guy can't miss and he has a 30 for 32 season and he's good from 60, and then 2 weeks later he can't. Doesn't know his butt from his elbow and can't make anything. It's fairly fleeting at times with these guys at this elite level. But you're 100% right. They simply haven't gotten it right yet.
Here is the question I would ask when it comes to signing a place kicker. 1, are you excellent from 50 to 55? 2, do you have the leg for me to comfortably trot you out there from 60 to 62 routinely? And if the answer to those questions is yes, you can be my kicker. If the answer to those questions is either unknown or no, I'm keeping it moving. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how many games you've kicked in. Like, here's an example. I saw that the veteran, Nick Folk, who has been kicking in the league for 18 years, wants to come back for a 19th season, and he's 41 years old this year. So right away you'd go, that's kind of gross. 41 is very, very old, and maybe he doesn't have the leg. He missed just 1 field goal over the last couple of seasons. He is one of the NFL's most accurate kickers ever, including a 96% rate since 2023. And he has been, listen to this, Danny, 18 of 20 from 50 plus over that time.
Well, hello there.
That's 3 seasons. So you're averaging about 7 attempts per from 50 plus. I'd like a kicker who's averaged more just because it means they're more comfortable trotting you out there. But he never has missed. I mean, he's 18 of 20 from 50 plus. That's what Jake Moody was last year on all kicks, and he only attempted 2 kicks of 50 or more yards. So my point is, guys like Nick Folk just become available, and you can get Nick Folk at 41 years old and plug him in and not have to worry about it and kind of set it and forget it. And it's why I'm not going to lose a lot of sleep over the kicker position. But I will tell you that I think this is the right decision, and I give them credit. They could easily have just brought Jake Moody back and said, we don't need to worry about kicker, and no one would have said a word about it. But they're trying to do better at a position where they should try.
Yeah, they recognize, yeah. It's smart. I mean, there's a couple of free agents. Joey Sly, familiar name, was, I think, 9 of 13 last year. 9 of 12 from 50 plus.
He's got a huge leg.
Pretty big leg.
Little less consistent over his career in close. And
100%.
Different areas of his game aren't as strong. But again, I don't care as much about that. I want the big leg and the guy that... You can't get Brandon Aubrey, but give me someone who can cancel out some of the fact that the Cowboys only have to get to the 45 to score points. If they have to get to the 45 and I have to get to the 30, they start the game beating me. It's just math, man.
Yeah.
If I need to complete one more first down, if I need to complete one more dig route in the middle of the field to get into field goal range, it's like playing basketball against your kid and spotting him 15 yards and a couple of points, or in a race, 15 yards and a 40-yard dash.
But there are choices. I mean, Zane Gonzalez, 7 out of 9 from 50 plus last year. He's a free agent.
Former Commander's great.
Only 30.
Kicked well for the Falcons last year.
But there's a list of guys. So this to me is one of those, you're not cutting somebody without an alternative. You're not on the carousel, so to speak, where you're trying guys out middle of the week that get you the Chris Blewett situation. This is, you got a little time to pay some attention to it and maybe win a bidding war that won't cost you a ton.